The galaxy remembered the seer named Varkesh as a strange and mysterious alien. He lived alone on a cold moon, far away from the busy star routes. Many leaders visited him because he had one rare gift: he could see small pieces of the future. Most of his visions were weak, like broken glass showing only a few shapes. But one vision frightened him more than anything he had seen before. He saw a race made of fire. In his vision, beings walked through flames like it was water. Their bodies shined with burning light. Their ships came out of stars like they were born inside them. And wherever this fire race went, war followed. When Varkesh shared this vision with the Galactic Council, every species became afraid. No one knew who this fire race was. But they believed one thing: a race of fire means destruction. Years passed. People forgot the seer's warning. They thought maybe he was wrong. After all, no such race ever appeared. The only species who once loved fire were humans, but they vanished 80 years ago in the Great Collapse War. Everyone believed the humans died along with their burning homeworlds. But the seer never stopped watching the stars. He felt the vision was not finished. And one quiet night, the fire returned. The strange signal. On the edge of the galaxy, the patrol ship Gowron moved through dark space. Captain Kiros, a tall insectoid male, watched the scanners with tired eyes. It was supposed to be a calm patrol, until the alarms suddenly flashed red. "Captain," the navigator said, voice shaking. "We are receiving a signal from the dead star system E9X." Kiros froze. No signals ever came from E9X. That system was destroyed during humanity's final battle. Nothing lived there. Nothing burned there. "Open the signal," Kiros ordered. The bridge filled with a strange, deep humming sound. It was not a voice. It was not a language. It was heat. The signal carried so much thermal energy that the monitors began to warm up. "What kind of ship sends a heat signal?" the engineer whispered. Before anyone could answer, the scanner screen turned bright white. "Captain," the navigator shouted, "something is rising from the corona of the dead star. No ship should survive that close to a star. Any normal hull would melt in seconds. But something was coming out, slow, steady, glowing like a burning ghost. The fire in the star. The object emerged fully, and everyone on the bridge stared without breathing. It was a ship. A massive one. Its hull shone like molten metal, moving with red and gold lines like rivers of fire. Heat rolled off it in waves. The patrol ship's shield struggled just to stay active. What is that?" the engineer gasped. Kiros zoomed in on the symbol painted on the ship's front. His stomach turned cold as ice. It was a symbol the galaxy had not seen for 80 years. A human phoenix emblem. "It cannot be," Kiros whispered. "Humans? They all died." But the ship proved the truth. It moved slowly away from the star like it was walking out of fire. A deep voice suddenly echoed through the entire patrol ship. It was not transmitted by normal radio. It sounded like it came from the heat itself. "Stand down. Do not engage. We mean no harm." Captain Kiros's legs nearly failed him. It was a human voice. "Respond," he ordered, but the communication systems flickered and died, overloaded by thermal energy. The alien crew trembled as the fiery ship turned toward them. It was not preparing weapons. It was simply watching. And that was somehow even more terrifying. The prophecy comes alive. The patrol ship recorded the event and sent the data to the council. The moment the seer Varkesh saw the images, his old skin turned pale blue with fear. He whispered, "The race of fire has returned." Council members panicked. Some believed it was a trick. Some thought humans had become a danger to the entire galaxy. And some wanted to attack immediately. But the seer shook his head. "You still do not understand," he said. "The fire is not here to burn you. The fire is here because something colder, darker, and more dangerous is coming." No one listened to him. Meanwhile, in the Dead Star system, the human ship opened a small window in its fire shield. Another transmission came through, clear, cold, and full of purpose. "This is the Solar Guard. Humanity lives. We are returning." Captain Kiros felt the words hit him like a shock. He remembered the old war stories, humans fighting until their worlds turned to ashes. Humans refusing to surrender even when everyone thought they were done. He understood something terrible and powerful. Humans did not die. They changed. They became something new. Something born in fire. And now they were coming back into the war. The screen on his ship went dark. The last thing he saw was the human fire ship entering warp space, disappearing into a burning trail that looked like a comet made of living flame. Captain Kiros stood frozen long after the human fire ship vanished into the dark. His crew stared at the empty stars, unsure if what they saw was real or a nightmare made from heat and fear. "Captain, what do we do now?" the navigator whispered. Kiros finally found his voice. "We report everything. The council must know humans are alive." But the moment he said those words, the patrol ship's screens turned black again. This time it wasn't the human ship causing interference. The entire communication array had melted from the heat residue left in space. Kiros understood one thing clearly. The galaxy was not ready for the return of humans. Not like this. Not as a race of fire. The Solar Guard awakens. On the far side of the galaxy, the human ship entered a hidden star sector. It was not traveling alone. As soon as it arrived, dozens of fire-colored ships powered on, lighting the darkness like a burning city. This was the Solar Guard, the legendary human fleet believed to be lost during the Great Collapse. 80 years ago, when humanity faced extinction, some commanders made a desperate choice. They took their strongest ships and flew into the only place the enemy would not follow, the inside of dying stars. Everyone assumed those ships were destroyed. But the truth was far stranger. They survived. And they evolved. Inside the crushing heat of star cores, humans discovered energy that no other species dared to touch. Their ships became stronger, hotter, brighter. Their bodies adapted to radiation storms. Their armor fused with solar metals. Humans did not die in the fire. They became the fire. Now the Solar Guard commander, High Marshal Rian Holt, stood before his officers. "We made our presence known," he said. "The council will panic. The galaxy will fear us. But they must understand, this war is not about them." His second-in-command, Mara Vex, nodded. "The hollow swarm is moving again." Every officer went silent. The swarm. The true enemy. The cold machines that destroyed half of humanity before disappearing into deep space. High Marshal Holt pointed to a star map. Several systems were marked in dark red. "These worlds are silent," he said. "No distress signals. No survivors. The swarm is consuming again." "So we reveal ourselves now?" Mara asked. Holt nodded. "There is no choice. The galaxy will not survive what is coming. And they will never believe the threat unless they see who stands against it." His face hardened. "Prepare the fleet. We move at dawn." The council in panic. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council chamber was filled with shouting voices. "Destroy the human ship," one leader cried. "They are too powerful," yelled another. "No one should survive a star. It is unnatural." Only the Seer Varkesh sat in silence. He watched the heated debate with sad, tired eyes. The same mistake again. Fear first, truth later. "Humans are not the enemy," he said gently. "We must listen." The council ignored him. The chairman slammed his fist. "If humans have become a race of fire, they are a threat to every world. We will assemble a defense fleet." "A defense fleet will not stop them," Varkesh whispered. "And it will not stop what hunts them." But no one heard him over the noise. First Contact, Part 2. Captain Kiros finally regained partial communication as he limped his patrol ship toward the nearest council base. His systems were half fried, his hull burned, and his crew shaken. When the base officers saw the Phoenix emblem on the recordings, their expressions twisted between terror and awe. "You're telling us humans walked out of a star?" the officer asked. Kiros nodded. They were not afraid. They looked changed. Like they owned the fire. The officer swallowed hard. "This is bad. Very bad." Kiros leaned in. "No. This is only the beginning." The human message. Before the council could prepare a response, every major communication tower across the galaxy suddenly flickered with orange light. Heat waves rose from the screens. For a moment, people feared their systems were under attack. Then a familiar symbol appeared. The burning phoenix. A calm human voice spoke. "To all species of the galaxy. We are the Solar Guard. Humanity still lives." Millions of beings froze, listening. "We do not return as conquerors. We return because a great danger rises in the dark. The hollow swarm has awakened." Gasps spread through every world. "You fear our fire. But you should fear their cold far more." The message ended. No threats. No demands. Just a warning. And that scared the galaxy more than anything. The final moment of Part 2. On the human flagship, High Marshal Holt stared at the dark map of dead systems. "Do you think they will trust us?" Mara asked. Holt shook his head. "No, not yet. The galaxy has forgotten what humans truly are." He looked at the burning star outside the ship's window. "But they will remember soon." The human fleet began to move, hundreds of fireships drifting like glowing embers toward unknown space. Their engines lit up the void with bright orange trails. The humans were coming. Not to rule. Not to destroy. But to fight the enemy no one else could face. The galaxy did not sleep that night. Across thousands of worlds, the same message echoed again and again. Humanity still lives. The hollow swarm has awakened. No one knew what to believe. No one knew what to fear more. The return of humans wrapped in fire. Or the cold machines that once erased entire nations. Every species reacted differently. Some hid. Some panicked. Some prepared for war. But all of them talked about the same thing. The race of fire. The council divided. The Galactic Council chamber was filled with a thick tension, almost like smoke after a battle. Chairman Draxel slammed his claws on the table. These humans are dangerous. They survived inside stars. What kind of species evolves like that? A reptilian general hissed, "We should attack before they spread." A bird-like elder shook his head. "They did not threaten us. They warned us." Another voice cried, "You trust them? Those burning monsters." The chamber erupted again. Only the Seer Varkesh remained calm. He rose slowly, leaning on his crystal staff. "You fear fire because you do not understand it," he said. His words silenced the room. "My vision was not about destruction," he continued. "It was about protection. The race of fire will burn only one enemy, the cold that wants to swallow the galaxy." Chairman Draxel glared at him. "You keep talking about your visions, Seer. But your visions also showed war. Fire everywhere. Cities burning." Varkesh nodded. "Yes. But you never asked why they were burning." He looked around the chamber, his eyes glowing softly. "The hollow swarm burns everything in its path. Only fire can stop it. But fear is louder than truth." Draxel turned away. "I will not let humans rise unchecked. Prepare the defense fleet." Varkesh spoke one last time, voice heavy with sadness. "You prepare for the wrong enemy." No one listened. Panic among the stars. Across the galaxy, fear spread like a storm. On the aquatic world of Salona, citizens swam in circles, whispering. Humans returned from stars. Will they melt our oceans? On the crystal moon of Hylas, light beings flickered nervously. What if their fire cracks our surface? In deep mining stations, engineers argued. Machines like the swarm? Impossible. Humans are lying. In schools, children asked teachers, "Are humans monsters now?" And teachers had no answer. No one had answers. Everyone only had fear. A lone voice of hope. In a small remote village on the desert world Uranos, an old storyteller gathered younglings around a fire pit. He spoke softly. "Do you know why humans loved fire?" The younglings shook their heads. "Because fire can destroy," he said, "but it can also protect. It can give warmth in the cold. It can keep away monsters." One of the children asked, "So humans are not monsters?" The storyteller smiled gently. "No. Monsters do not return to warn others. Humans came back because something worse is coming." The fire crackled. The children leaned closer. The storyteller finished. "Remember this. When the dark grows colder, you will pray for a light strong enough to burn it." The human plan revealed. Inside the Solar Guard flagship, High Marshal Rian Holt watched the chaos from a distance. Reports from across the galaxy filled his screen. Council building debates war. Several worlds call humans a threat. Some species want to surrender to the swarm instead. Others want to hide and hope for mercy. Mara Vex stood beside him. "They fear us more than the swarm," she said quietly. Holt nodded. "It is expected. No species has ever returned from extinction." "Should we send another message?" Mara asked. Holt looked out at the glowing fire fleet surrounding his ship. "No. Words are not enough anymore. Action will speak." The map lit up with fresh red marks. The hollow swarm was moving faster. First sign of the enemy. On the edge of the Varken Nebula, a small cargo ship drifted peacefully. Its crew played loud music, joking, relaxing. They had no idea what was stalking them. The nebula clouds suddenly froze, literally froze. Temperature dropped in seconds. All lights dimmed. The captain frowned. "What happened to the power?" A sound echoed outside, like thousands of metal legs crawling. Then the ship's hull dented inward. A cold mechanical voice whispered, "Harvest." Screams filled the room. The lights died. Silence followed. Moments later, the ship floated empty, hollow, and lifeless. A perfect kill by the swarm. And no one knew it had happened. Except one. The Seer's second vision. Varkesh collapsed on the floor of his chamber. His eyes glowed white. His body shook. He saw metal like ice. He saw ships dying without fire. He saw stars going dark. He saw the galaxy falling into silent cold. And then, he saw fire rising again. Humans standing in front of the darkness. Their bodies glowing like suns. Their ships burning brighter than nebulae. He gasped, whispering, "Only they can stop it. Only the fire can live in the cold." He knew now. The council was blind. The galaxy was unprepared. And humanity was the only hope. End of part 3. The galaxy trembled in fear. The swarm was moving. Humans were rising. And the prophecy was beginning to unfold. The hollow swarm did not roar. It did not announce its arrival. It simply spread, silent and cold, like death drifting through space. For years, the galaxy believed the swarm was destroyed. After their last attack, they vanished into deep darkness, leaving no trace behind. But the truth was far worse. They were not gone. They were waiting. Waiting for weakness. Waiting for fear. Waiting for the galaxy to forget. And the galaxy had forgotten. Everything except the old stories humans told about cold machines with no heart. Now those stories were becoming real again. The first reports. A mining outpost in Sector R12 stopped sending shipments. Then a communication tower in the Narrows Belt went silent. Then an entire convoy vanished while crossing the Ion Drift. At first, the council thought these were normal accidents. But then the patrol ship Argoni sent a final message before disappearing. Cold light. It ate our power, shapes in the dark, no life, no heat. The signal ended in a metallic whisper. The council tried to investigate, but every ship they sent simply vanished without a single distress call. Soon entire star systems turned dark, quiet and cold. The same cold the Seer saw in his visions. The same cold humans warned about. Inside the Varkan Nebula. Deep inside the nebula, the swarm moved like a living shadow. Their bodies were smooth, metallic, and shaped like sharp insects. Their eyes glowed with pale blue light, light with no warmth. They did not breathe. They did not rest. They did not think like organic life. They simply harvested. Every living thing they touched froze instantly. Every energy source they found was drained dry. Every ship they boarded became an empty shell. Inside their cold hive, a huge machine core pulsed with a dead, icy rhythm. The Swarm Queen. A towering figure of metal and frost, her voice echoed across her children. Begin full consumption. The galaxy is unprepared. The swarm spread their metal wings and moved like a tidal wave of shadows. Meanwhile, the Solar Guard prepares. On the human flagship, the Solar Guard watched the swarm's movement through ancient tracking systems. Mara Vex studied the map with a heavy expression. 3 systems gone in 2 days. They're moving fast. High Marshal Holt nodded. They always move fast when they sense weakness. A young officer stepped forward. "Sir, the council still believes we are the threat, not the swarm." Holt sighed. "It doesn't matter what they believe. What matters is who acts." "Should we warn them again?" Mara asked. Holt shook his head. "No. Warnings won't save them now." He turned toward a holographic image of a burning star. "We show them. The council's mistake." In the Galactic Council chamber, shouting continued. "They ignored us for 80 years. They have fire ships. They want war. We cannot trust humans." Finally, Chairman Draxel made the decision that changed the galaxy. "We send the defense fleet to block human movement," he said. "They will not enter council space." The Seer Varkesh stood slowly. His voice trembled, not from fear but from frustration. "You are pushing away the only ones who can save you." Draxel growled, "Enough visions. Enough fear stories. Humans are a threat." Varkesh pointed his glowing staff toward the stars. "The real threat is already here." But the council was blind. Their fear of fire hid the truth. They were preparing for the wrong enemy. The horror at Redis V. On the small agricultural planet Redis V, farmers worked peacefully, unaware of the doom approaching. A young girl named Naya looked up at the sky, confused. "Papa, the stars look strange." Her father laughed. "Stars don't change, little flame." But the stars were changing. They were going dark. One by one. As if something massive was blocking their light. Minutes later, a cold wind swept across the farmlands, a wind impossible in space. The animals froze. The plants stiffened. The air turned icy. Then the sky split open with thousands of blue, cold lights descending like metal rain. The hollow swarm. Naya screamed. Her father grabbed her arm. They ran. Everyone ran. But the swarm did not chase. They simply walked forward, calmly, mechanically, freezing everything they touched. Houses turned to frost statues. People collapsed mid-step. Machines shut down instantly. Within 1 hour, Redis V became a silent, frozen world. The swarm did not roar in victory. They simply whispered, "Harvest complete," and then moved on. The seer's desperation. Varkesh felt it. A cold wave hitting his mind like ice water. He gasped and collapsed on his knees. Another world, taken? His voice shook. He saw images. Children turning to frost. Ships falling dead in space. Cities silenced. And then he saw fire. The humans, burning through the dark, pushing the cold back. He rose with great effort and shouted into the chamber. "Listen to me. The swarm has already taken Redis V." The council froze. "What? That's impossible. We would have received a distress call." Varkesh's eyes glowed. There were no survivors left to call. And then he whispered the sentence that silenced every voice. "Only the race of fire can stop them." End of part 4. The swarm was no longer hiding. Worlds were falling. The galaxy was blind with fear. And only humans understood what kind of war was coming. The chamber fell silent after Commander Rian's last words. Every alien leader in the room looked at each other, unsure if they had just heard a threat or a promise. The air felt heavy like the gravity had increased. Even the lights seemed dimmer. Rian did not move. His hands were behind his back, his eyes calm but sharp like a blade. He looked like a man who had already accepted the worst outcome, and was still ready to face it. For a moment nobody spoke. Then Counselor Vorex finally cleared his throat. His voice was shaky. "Commander Rian, humans were always emotional beings. We believed you needed supervision. We believed your species was unstable." Rian raised an eyebrow. "Unstable?" he repeated. Vorex nodded slowly. "Yes. But now, after seeing your strength, your unity, and your inventions, maybe we were wrong." Another council member, a tall blue-skinned Luran named Saralise, stepped forward. "Your SOS message was meant to call for help," she said softly. "But instead, it revealed your true capability." Rian sighed as if tired from explaining something simple. "We did not send the SOS to impress you," he said. "We sent it because we believe the galaxy is in danger. We detected something old, something powerful, and we did not want any world to face it alone." The council's eyes widened. "What danger?" Saralise asked. Rian tapped his wrist device. A hologram appeared above them. It showed a massive dark region at the edge of the galaxy. Almost like a void. Something alive, but silent. "This is not a natural black zone," he said. "This is feeding." The room trembled with fear. The hologram showed stars simply disappearing, swallowed without sound, without light. Whole regions became empty in minutes. What is that?" an alien general whispered. Rian looked at the council straight in the eyes. "We call it the Devourer." The name alone sent chills across the chamber. "It is moving," Rian continued. "Slow but unstoppable. It has already consumed 3,000 stars. And now, it is heading toward the inner systems." The council went pale. Many gasped. Some almost fell to their knees. "You should have listened when we first warned you," Rian said softly. His words were not angry. Just tired. He changed the hologram view, showing the tiny human fleet positioned near the void, studying it, scanning it, trying to learn how to stop it. "You thought we wanted war," he said. "But we wanted understanding. You thought humans were dangerous, but something far worse is coming." The council leader whispered. Why did you not show this earlier?" Rian smiled sadly. "We did. But you never wanted to hear it." Silence again. But this time it was not fear of humans. It was fear of the unknown. Then Rian took one slow step forward. "We are not asking you to follow us. We are telling you the truth. The galaxy has two choices now. Unite. Or be eaten." His voice echoed like thunder. Some aliens looked ready to argue. But when they saw the hologram again, the endless black wave destroying stars, they understood. There was no debate. No negotiation. No politics. Only survival. Rian lowered the hologram. "The Devourer is still far," he said. "We have time. But not much. We need every mind, every ship, and every weapon. Humans will fight. But we cannot fight alone." For the first time in their history, the council, proud, stubborn, and ancient, bowed their heads to a human. "We will join you," the leader said quietly. "We will trust you." Rian nodded once. "Good," he said. "Because phase 1 of the plan begins tonight." The doors opened at that moment, and dozens of human officers walked in with tablets and data pads. They moved with purpose, confidence, and quiet power. The aliens watched them with a mixture of fear and respect. The galaxy had ignored humanity once. They would never ignore them again. And Commander Rian's final words before the meeting ended carried a weight none would forget. Prepare yourselves. The real war has not started yet. The council chamber emptied slowly, but the tension inside the building only grew stronger. Every alien officer and every human soldier moved through the halls with nervous purpose. Something big was starting and everyone felt it. Commander Rian walked beside Admiral Kira Holt, one of Earth's top strategists. She was calm, but her eyes showed the weight of the situation. They finally listened, she said quietly. Rian nodded. They listened because they were scared. Fear is a fast teacher. Kira looked at the hologram pad in her hand. The Devourer, it has grown again. 2 more star systems vanished. If it keeps expanding at this speed, it will reach the council sectors in a few years. Rian stopped walking. We don't have years, he said. Kira took a deep breath. Then we move tonight. They entered the human command room. It was a clean steel environment filled with blue holograms and data screens. Human officers stood at attention as soon as Rian entered. A young officer approached with a report. Commander, the council has agreed to share their technology. Their shields, long-range scanners, and energy cores will be integrated into our ships tomorrow. Rian nodded. Good. Humans will handle weapon design and battle strategy. Another officer stepped forward. And the alien fleets? Rian's expression hardened. They will follow us, he said. They just don't know it yet. A quiet laugh spread in the room, not mocking but confident. Humans were never the strongest species. Never the fastest. Never the oldest. But they were the most adaptable. The most determined. And now the most prepared. Rian activated the main hologram table. A giant galaxy map appeared. Several sectors were marked red, areas already consumed. This is our enemy, Rian said. The Devourer has no face, no voice, no weakness we know of. It does not negotiate. It does not stop. It does not care about life. He pointed at the human fleet icon, a small but powerful cluster of ships. Humans will form the front line. Then he pointed at the council fleets behind them. The rest will support. A council representative, a thin insect-like being named Yaltris, raised a trembling hand. Commander Rian, our people fear humans already. Now they fear this Devourer. How will you keep order? Rian looked at him with steady eyes. With truth, he said. And with strength. If we look scared, they will fall apart. If we stand strong, they will follow. Kira stepped up beside him. And humans have something the Devourer does not, she said. Alien eyes turned toward her. Hope. The room fell silent until Rian continued. We begin Operation Dawnshield in 2 phases. Phase 1. Gather fleets, unite technology, strengthen borders. Phase 2. Find the Devourer's origin. Study it. Learn how to stop it. Yaltris trembled. You mean, you want to enter the void? Rian nodded. Yes. The answers are inside that darkness. Many aliens shivered. No ship had ever returned from that region. It was known as a place of death, a silent graveyard of stars. Rian stepped closer to the hologram. His face was calm but filled with iron determination. If humanity must walk into the void first, then we will, he said. Because if we do nothing, the void will walk into us. Suddenly the alarms flashed red. A communication officer shouted, Commander, a long-range transmission. It's not from any known species. Rian frowned. Put it on screen. The lights dimmed. A strange symbol appeared, twisting, shifting, almost alive. Everyone in the room felt a cold shock pass through their bodies. The transmission played 3 simple words. Words spoken in a deep, unnatural voice. We are coming. The room froze. No one spoke. No one breathed. Rian's jaw tightened. So, he said quietly, they can speak. He turned toward the officers. Prepare all fleets. Alert the council. The Devourer knows we are watching. Kira whispered. This changes everything. Rian nodded slowly. Yes. The war has already begun.